The helicopter pilot is played by Tig Notario, something like that.
I forgot her last name. Yeah.
She's a fairly famous comedian. It's the first time I've ever seen her in a movie. Did you know she was not actually in the movie?
Really?
Dave Bautista has never met Tig or any of the cast.
So they just shot around. They just did shots, or or not shots around them, but every other shot was just like just a random shot of her somewhere doing something else, what am I trying to say? Like they had a shot with just her, but she wasn't with all the cast and everything, so they couldn't get like that kind of,
So okay, like when you first meet her, she's chemistry. On the helicopter yard, like she's a helicopter mechanic pilot. And so they were across the fence from each other, so it was always like you saw her or you saw them talking to her. Yeah. And then she took the job. She's like, I'll take the job. And so she spent a lot of the movie on top of the building, separate from everybody else, trying to fix the helicopter. There's only really one scene I can think of that they were, face to face. Like she was looking at Dave Bautista where they were talking about the triage situations. Like who's more important? You want to protect, obviously, the safe craft. You want to protect me because I'm the helicopter pilot. That was the only time I can remember, because even when they were talking to the Japanese millionaire, like she was there, but her one speaking part just kind of panned off to her off to the side. Okay, so the reason for that is that there was an actor there, obviously. They CG'd her in post-production after the fact, costed Netflix like millions of extra dollars, because the original character was a comedian named Chris D'Amelio. And
oh, really?
Yes. And you probably know he's like a skinny dude, always has kind of longer hair, keeps a 5 o'clock shadow. He was in Whitney Cummings' short-lived sitcom, I think. He got brought up on some serious allegations, and they wanted to remove him, wipe him from the movie altogether. So they CG'd Tig in there, and for all of its flaws and weird storytelling devices, I personally did not know that and could not tell that at all unless I'd read that article, because they did a really good job with the special effects.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell either.
A whole nother actor, and they just threw her in after the fact. She never met. I think in the article they said she actually had met one of the other cast members, and I think it was the Coyote, possibly. Maybe it was one of the female cast characters. I don't know if it was her or the other one. But and then there was an interview with Dave Bautista saying that it's weird that I haven't met Tig. I would love to meet her, stuff like that. It's like, it's weird that I've met everybody else and I haven't met her, and we all did a movie together, and watching the movie, it looks like she was right there with us the whole time. So I thought that was a super cool, like way to go. Zack Snyder and everybody involved, to take that situation and not just either somehow work around it and cut the whole roll out completely somehow, like make somebody else the helicopter pilot, I guess, or and delete all those scenes, but come up with a way to make it work, and then CG her in a way that you can't tell.
Yeah,
so I was sold.
I didn't pay attention that they did those shots where she wasn't like with them. I always thought that's just how it was, where it was just like, hey, the helicopter yard, cool. The scene where they come in, you don't really see her too much when she comes in. You see her in the back. I'm thinking, okay, she's just all the way in the back behind everyone else. Okay, and then the helicopter scene, and then that's it. And I'm like, that's how they shot it. I didn't know like that's because she was brought in later. That's crazy.
Yeah, it completely blew my mind. Because I guess because you think about it, when they were in the helicopter. Yeah, she was talking to him and stuff like that, but I guess they never really crossed paths, but you don't really think about this stuff on the fly. So some of the stuff that I brought up, like Tig being CG'd in and the alien stuff, I found out after I watched the movie the first time. Knowing this now, even though it's not my favorite movie, and it wasn't it was okay. It was good. It was fine. It makes me want to go back and watch it again.